is another big, beautiful night for baseball in Atlanta, and Boston native Sean Newcomb will lead the Braves into battle game 2 of 3 with the red-hot Boston Red Sox. Another packed house joins us tonight here at SunTrust Park. Hi again, friends. Boy, it's great to have a man who can pronounce all those crazy Massachusetts towns names with us.
I got your back
Tom
tonight.
Glavine's going to hook us up tonight with Joe Simpson. Hopefully, Sean Newcomb will hook up with Rick Porcello and pitch a terrific ball game. His second go-around with the Red Sox, the first one up at Fenway Park. Maybe some jitters that day, hopefully none tonight in game 2, Joe.
Going into that start at Fenway, he was on quite a roll. He had won 4 straight games. His season was off to a tremendous start, 5-1 overall. But he ran into some sticks in Boston. Now then, going home, basically, he's from Middleborough, Massachusetts. He's grown up basically in the shadow of Fenway Park. There had to be a lot of jitters going on for him that day. Tom Glavine, you're from that area. You grew up in the shadow of that ballpark. There must have been a little bit of jitters for you, even with your experience going back to Fenway.
Yeah, no question. Look at it. It's a baseball history-rich town, a history-rich ballpark. So I don't care who you are. You go in there as a professional pitching in that ballpark for the first time. There are some jitters, not to mention you're at Fenway Park, but I guarantee you if it was anything like the first time I pitched there, he had a whole bunch of family and friends there as well. So he wanted to put on a good show for everybody, and you're out of your comfort element. The beautiful thing tonight is he's been fantastic, 8-2 after a Braves loss, and I know he wants to prove to himself and to his friends back home watching tonight, he can pitch a better ball game against the Red Sox.
And it will be against Rick Porcello, a 15-game winner. Newcomb is ready. The Braves are ready. Atlanta's still 4 up in the East. We'll see if they can extend that lead with a victory tonight and a Phillies loss in Miami. First pitch right around the corner. Here at the center of the diamond at SunTrust Park for a second look at the Boston Red Sox. There you see, fellas, his season numbers. And as you mentioned, Tommy, he'd love to avenge a tough outing up at Fenway Park in May.
Yeah, no question. He's had a good year. He's hit a little bit of a slide here the second half of the year with the kind of the inconsistency. So he's got a month left. Start out the month of September with a big win against your hometown team.
And he will face Mookie Betts, the Boston right fielder, leading off. And the first one is off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes.
His 4 keys to pitching success tonight. Number 1, his changeup. This team struggled yesterday on off-speed pitches against Touki Toussaint.
Lifted in the air, shallow right. Ozzie drifts out. Markakis comes in. Nick says he's got it. 1 out.
Hopefully he will use that changeup that really had become quite a weapon for him early in the year. And that second key is crowd. That doesn't have anything to do with the fact that there's a lot of Red Sox fans here. It has to do with him pitching inside. Crowd these guys a little bit and make that changeup a little more effective away.
Well, and the breaking ball and fastball too, for that matter.
Sure.
You know, I know we listened to you guys a little bit during the game yesterday and talked about, and it's true, these guys are a really good fastball hitting team. Doesn't mean you can't still use your fastball. You obviously want to attack them with breaking balls too, but the way you were able to do that is command your fastball both sides.
Ian Kinsler hit 7th yesterday. He's hitting 2nd tonight with a left-hander on the mound. And he's gotten red hot. 11 hits in his last 27 tries. And 14 home runs on the season. Kinsler in for Dustin Pedroia, who's out with injury. And he launches this one towards center. Ender on the run to the edge of the track. And a couple of steps on it. 2 out. I told you yesterday the Red Sox under Alex Cora lead Major League Baseball in runs per game, average slugging percentage, and OPS. They have the 2nd lowest K rate. This is a fearsome American League offense anchored by Betts at the top, Bogarts in the middle, and what a pleasure must be for Alex Cora to write that starting 9 out on his Toyota lineup card every day.
Yeah, as an opposing pitcher, not a lot of places you're looking at lineup to get out.
JD Martinez 1 for 4 yesterday and a Triple Crown candidate for Boston. 2nd in the American League in average and homers, 1st in RBIs.
It may not be the MVP.
Pulled foul.
Yeah, I can't imagine you put up those kind of numbers and you aren't.
Yeah, you may not be on your own team.
Right.
Yeah, he and Mookie Betts may have to have an arm wrestling competition to figure out who wins that honor. Martinez named the American League August Player of the Month. Tremendous numbers for him. And what a find he has been for the Red Sox. Perfect fit for their lineup, perfect fit for their ball club. And he's put up a gigantic season that's seen him already score over 100 runs as well as knocking in 112.
Yeah, not a lot of guys sign those big free agent contracts and go to towns like this and have immediate success, but he's done it.
1-2 pitch is caught on a miss. There's that fastball from Newcomb and a very impressive start. 1-2-3 and out goes Boston here in game 2. Sean Newcomb puts up a 0. Rick Porcello is on the mound for Boston tonight. Lineup is pretty standard again tonight, with one exception. Now you can say Ronald Acuna Jr. is the Rookie of the Month in the National League, and what a month of August he had. Kurt Suzuki gets the start behind the plate. Atlanta will have its hands full with Rick Porcello making his 29th start this evening.
Yeah, numbers are solid on the year. 28 starts, 15-7 with a 4.2, but it's been a little bit of a struggle of late.
Porcello coming off a no decision against the White Sox, 4 runs in 5 innings. That has been somewhat unlike him, but to your point, Tom, the last month or so, Porcello has not been pitching like a former Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah, he pitched a near no-hitter against the Yankees, and it's been a struggle since then. 4-4 in his last 9 starts with a 5.8 ERA.
He's given up 7 homers in his last 28 innings.
Works fast, though. I like it.
Bouncing ball hit toward Nunez at third. He'll crawl, hop, and fire to first. Close play, and just in time. And Tim Timmons, with his out call, almost punched Ronald right in the shoulder as he went by. That was close.
I like watching guys on the left side of the infield who really haven't seen Ronald play all that much. And Nunez did it where he just kind of casually took the ground ball and looked up and said, uh-oh, I better hurry up here and make a throw.
And rush it.
Yeah.
So ground ball out for Porcello brings up Ender Inciarte, who's had a good homestand. 9 hits here at SunTrust Park against Tampa Bay, the Pirates, and now the Red Sox.
Porcello's 88 to 93 or 94. He's got good sinking action. Big time cutter, curveball. Works both sides of the plate, and he's not afraid to pitch in. He's hit 13 batters this year, 10 of them right-handed.
So hopefully Kurt Suzuki will have extra armor on, because he's the guy that's been the big target for the Braves in the batter's box. High fly ball into shallow center. Who wants this one? It'll be Jackie Bradley Jr. And quickly 2 out for Porcello in the Braves' first inning.
Now Porcello likes to pitch inside, but like you say, he's one of those guys that even with that 4-seam fastball, sometimes it's got a ton of run on it, and he doesn't quite know where it's going.
Porcello was the Tigers' first-round draft pick. As this one is taken for a strike. Won the Cy Young Award 2 years ago with a 22-4 campaign.
What a year.
Start of the year 13-0 on his home mound. That's remarkable.
And he has really enjoyed being a Red Sox. 77 starts, 53-9.
Goodness.
Fouled away by Freddie. 2 quick strikes to the Braves' first baseman.
I'm sorry, that's 77 starts with 3 runs or more. So.
Well, he's 29 years old, and he's already got 9 years in the big leagues.
Shift on for Freddie. The 0-2 pitch. He is served out of play to the left side. I'll do it again. Freddie's had some luck against Porcello. 4 for 8 in his career. Freeman went 1 for 4 here yesterday. He's had some chances against Boston, but left 13 men on base and went 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Against a team like the Red Sox, can't do that. Get a chance, you got to push across a run or 2.
Yeah, when you go 1 for 12 and they go 5 for 10, pretty much spells out what's going to happen.
No balls, 2 strikes. An 83-degree night here in Atlanta. And a big crowd for game 2. Good battle here for Freddie. He will stay alive. 0-2. This one's popped to the left side, and Porcello saws off Freddie and has a 1-2-3 frame himself. We go to the second, no score. Together feature. Let's talk Atlanta pitching here in this heated pennant race for the National League East.
The entire staff since August 1st, really good ERA and opponent average against, and not giving up a lot of long balls. That's even better. No quick strikes.
No, they've been on their game for the most part. A few blips here and there, which is expected, but they've been really good.
Bogarts, Pearson, Nunez for Boston. Scoreless second inning for Sean Newcomb. And his first is up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Xander Bogaerts, another terrific young player for this Boston club. 2 RBIs away from his career high. He's at 88 right now with 19 home runs.
There was a changeup and a good one in a good spot.
Yep.
Threw it again and got a strike out of it. 2 balls and a strike now. '93 in a good spot. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Ability to locate that changeup a little bit or get some strikes with it really makes that fastball look so much better up there.
And lined and caught. Camargo is there, perfectly placed. Bogarts retired, 1 out.
Pretty good ups for Johan.
Yeah, nice play. And that's what makes their hitters so dangerous. You know, you miss a little bit with a fastball and they're going to put a good swing on it.
This is Steve Pearce. They got him from Toronto, and they got him because he wears out left-handed pitching. In fact, he's hitting .406 against lefties with Boston with a couple of homers. He's a well-traveled player. Started his big league journey with the Pittsburgh Pirates, with action in Baltimore, Houston, the Yankees, Tampa Bay, Toronto, and now Boston.
When you establish yourself as a good pinch hitter, and he didn't just start his career that way, but evolved into that, you're going to be able, you might play with a lot of teams, but you're going to have a job somewhere.
Yep.
And he's done the entire AL East. He's played for all of them.
Well, 6 homers and 16 RBIs since they got him. I'm sure they're very pleased by that.
Ground ball to Dansby's left. He fields, spins, has no play. It's an infield hit for Pearce. Swanson had a long way to go to get to that ball, and Pearce is aboard with the first hit for either club.
Well, something funny there. You see where Ozzy's playing? I think he had just been over on the third base side of second, and when they got a hit in the count, he moved back over to the more traditional spot.
Yeah, it's just a bad break there. Another good changeup. Threw 3 of them that at bat. Got weak contact, but beat the shift a little bit.
So Eduardo Nunez bats with a man aboard. Nunez drove in a run last night or yesterday afternoon for Boston, and is hitting .262 on the year. Nunez has given them some offensive and defensive help with Rafael Devers sidelined. Devers was activated today for the Red Sox, so he's eligible to play tonight if needed. So an interesting dilemma for Alex Cora. Will it be Devers or Nunez most of the way down the stretch and into postseason play for Boston?
It's a good dilemma to have, right? I mean,
sure is. What a player he is.
Go down the month of September and just let it ride out, and you know, you get to the postseason, you go with the hot hand.
2 balls, no strikes for Nunez. And now ball 3.
And this is the thing, especially against a lineup like this. Sean's been prone to walking some guys lately, and against this lineup, you definitely don't want to do that. I know it's easier said than done, but
line to short. Dansby dropped it, but they're going to say he caught it. And no advance needed for Pierce. And Nunez will be retired. Bradley will be the hitter.
Yeah, I think that was a good call by Muchlinski, Mike Muchlinski, the second base umpire, because Dansby did catch it and then kind of an afterthought let it pop out. Thinking they might be able to get a double play, which they would have. But you got to miss it better than that.
Yeah. We don't need any more misses.
No. Nope.
So 2 outs for Jackie Bradley Jr., center fielder for Boston. And he unloads on the very first pitch. Deep to right. Markakis back, still tracking it up against the wall. Leaps and he got it.
Red Sox are used to seeing people go up against a big wall, but not in right. The top half of the inning going against the wall, but last night watching him hit, I was looking at Nick's stance, and it occurred to me that maybe he was a little more closed than we're used to seeing. On the left, you're seeing a stance from early August, and you can barely see his back foot, whereas on the right yesterday you can see that that front foot is much more in front, which results in a bit of a closed stance. So if you're looking at his feet, you understand, and perhaps, if anything, that's one of the things that is troubling a little bit right now.
And it's been a prolonged slide for Nick. 12 hits in his last 19 games. That is not like Nick Markakis. So hopefully he can break out against Porcello, whom he has seen more than any other Braves hitter in tonight's lineup. This is Nick's 30th at bat against him. He's 11 for 29, including a home run. Markakis at .303 on the year, 14 homers, 83 driven in.
Sometimes you don't even realize you're doing something like that with your stance. I remember once standing at home plate in my stance, and then I couldn't figure out what was waving behind my head, behind my helmet.
That ball's hammered towards center, but Bradley is perfectly placed. Hard hit ball, 1 out.
And it was my bat. My bat was so wrapped behind me, and I didn't even know it, that once I corrected that, then things started going the right way. Nick's hitting in some tough luck just like that. He hit that on the nose right at somebody. It's not like he's not making any contact at all.
So it's 4 up, 4 down for Porcello. Here's Camargo, the Braves' third baseman. He has an 11-hit homestand working, 2 homers, and a .458 batting average during this run here at SunTrust Park.
Here's something about Johan that's might make what he does even more impressive. We've seen him hook balls over the dugout and sharply to the right side against hard throwers. Look where he is. Look where his stance is. His toes are almost on the inside line. He's challenging you to come in there, and yet he can still turn on it.
Yeah, I saw that pitch right there. Change up in, really effective. I saw the same result yesterday on somebody threw him one in there and kind of had that same thing. But you're right, he loves that ball in, and you better get it in there.
And if Porcello goes too far inside, as you guys said, he's not afraid to hit a batter.
No.
That's happened 13 times for Porcello this year. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They're going in again. And Camargo serves that one down the left field line, and it'll bounce foul. This guy will take some of the funniest swings. He'll take a long swing. It'll look very slow, almost lulling the pitcher into delivering that pitch inside, and then bang, he rips a shot to right field.
Yeah, it almost, you think as a pitcher, oh, I got all kinds of room to go back in there or go look at the swing he took there, and then you do it again, and Johan makes the correction and hammers it.
2-2 pitch. Inside out's that ball, and it's skied toward right. Betts at the wall is going to have room, and Camargo is retired. 2 outs. Just enough room for Mookie Betts to make the play, and Kurt Suzuki's coming up.
Yeah, another inside changeup.
Now, folks, if he reaches in the stands, you can slap that out of his glove if you want to down there.
Yeah, our guy was too polite down there. Getting away. That southern hospitality. You would have never gotten that up north.
No. Down there by the pesky pole, not a chance.
Yeah, no chance.
Kurt Suzuki swings and misses. Strike 1 of the Braves catcher. He's got a 3-game hit streak. He too has seen Porcello quite a bit. This is his 24th at bat against the Boston right-hander.
Yeah, that was an ambush swing, and he got a slider.
And off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. You can see why the Red Sox are so excited about the crapshoot that is postseason play. That is, if they can get Chris Sale back healthy and ready to go, and if David Price can come back, those two with Porcello is as good a 1-2-3 punch as any team in baseball.
Yeah, you got a guy every night that could throw a no-hitter for you.
Now, Price even acknowledged the other day after a good outing that I have not been the guy they signed. I've not been the guy that they were hoping me to be when I came here. So good for him that he acknowledged it and seems to be on the road back to pitching like David Price again.
Yeah, he's 14-6 as that one's popped out of play. Sales 12-4 with a sub-2 ERA, and the luxury that the Red Sox have with this 51 games over 500 record, they can take just about as much time as they need to make sure both of those guys are as healthy as they can possibly be this time of year.
Well, if they're going to have any shot, they both have to be.
Right.
2-2 pitch is stroked toward right center. Bradley on the run. He's still going. That ball is gone into the Atlanta bullpen. A 2-out lightning strike by Kurt Suzuki puts the Braves in front. Another one that fooled me.
Me too.
I know it was hit hard enough, but I didn't think it was hit high enough.
I just wanted it to get over Bradley's head. It did better than that. Fastball away too. Steve Pearce couldn't believe it either. The wind's blowing out that way a little bit.
So the Braves have a 1-0 lead, and Ozzie Albies the batter. Next, first time the Braves have led in the series with Boston.
Double digits.
for Suzuki. Good for him. Number 10.
Now to play foul by Ozzie. 2 balls and a strike for Suzuki. It's the 5th time in his career he's had a double-digit homer year. Kurt had 19 homers for the Braves last season. And this one a biggie tonight. It gives Newcomb a 1-0 advantage in the second. And Albies fouls that one back. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's 8 homers allowed by Porcello in his last 30 innings.
Now the 2-2 pitch is on the ground. Bogarts almost ran into Kinsler. So Albies will reach with a 2-out single.
Bogarts was kind of going that way toward first. It was going to be a backhanded attempt by Kinsler, and I think Bogarts called him off.
And then went to a skid.
Yeah, called him off. He called him off much too late.
Yeah.
You know what's going to have to happen? Brandon Phillips, who was just brought up for the minor leagues, is going to have to draw the line of death that he used to put out there for Dansby Swanson.
Good call
for Kinsler and Bogarts. So here is Dansby. He's got a 3-game hit streak. They've put an error up on the board for Boston.
I'm not. I put a single.
And
No
they
way.
charged the error to Kinsler. He didn't even touch the ball.
What was the error?
Not getting out of the way soon enough when somebody called you off. I don't know.
That's got to change.
Yeah.
I mean, let's assume Kinsler wasn't there. Bogart stumbles. He's not going to throw him out anyway.
Right. Fell down.
Happy for Brandon Phillips back in the big leagues with Boston. Maybe we'll see him in this series before the Red Sox get out of town. 1 ball, 1 strike for Dansby. 1-0, a Kurt Suzuki homer. I don't think I've ever seen a major league player charged for an error where they didn't touch the ball.
Yeah.
So Albies at first. And right off the end of the bat for Swanson, it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Or that the ball didn't even come loose.
Right. Well, I mean, what happens in that same situation if they do collide and make contact?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to call an error? Right? You're not.
Right, no.
So now you're calling an error because they almost collided, but there was no contact?
Yeah.
To quote our great director, Mike Miller. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch is high. Boston has really tried to, Tommy, use the high fastball against the Braves.
Yeah, I think both teams really have this series.
Long inning for Porcello. He'll need 26 pitches at least to escape the Braves' second. Runner goes, and Dansby got hit.
In the helmet. It was a slider. That doesn't make it feel any better.
George Poulos, the Braves' head athletic trainer, will be out and will obviously talk about concussion stuff on a beating to the back of the helmet.
Oh. Keep in mind the reason Dansby wears that guard across his chin is because he got hit in the face the first day he was with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, like you said, the only saving grace there is it wasn't a fastball, but still doesn't feel good.
This is something Major League Baseball has done a remarkably good job of in recent years, and that is their understanding of their willingness to be as proactive as possible with concussion protocol. And so apparently for the moment, Swanson has passed all the tests to stay in the game here in the second inning. But this will go on, I'm sure, after the game and perhaps even during the game.
He's coming out.
And now he's going to come out. Wow. So Dansby Swanson, hit with a pitched ball, has to come out of the game.
Much rather have him go get checked out.
Yeah.
In the training room, go through the whole system.
Yeah, you rather.
And Dansby Swanson will come in and run for Dansby Swanson.
Yeah. Error on the side of caution for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
You know, if he's on the edge right there, then you know you take him out. Hopefully it's a day. You know, maybe he's back tomorrow, but you push it. Ends up being a week or more, and the way he's swinging the bat right now, you don't want anything else to derail any of that.
So we will, of course, update you on any findings for Dansby Swanson as they're provided us later on tonight. Culberson will pinch run at first base and remain in the game at shortstop. And Sean Newcomb will be cleared here in the second inning with 2 on, 2 out, and a run in thanks to a Suzuki homer. And this long inning for Porcello continues, and I would imagine he's got to be a little rattled after that last pitch to Swanson. That's the 14th man he has hit with a pitched ball this year.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, hitting a guy is one thing. Hitting a guy in the head is another. Even if it wasn't a fastball, you still don't feel good about that when you see a guy walking off the field.
No.
So the Braves have worked over Porcello for 43 pitches. They've got the game's first run. Newcomb will try to help himself here. But he's behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. He fought it off.
I want to use this just for a teaching moment, guys. We talk about this all the time. Watch how Dansby turned away from the pitch, ducked away from it, so the helmet took the brunt of it rather than somehow turned to his left and exposed the whole side of his face. You kids at home, something to learn even from that.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And that will retire the side. However, Atlanta really made Porcello work. All this came after 2 are out. Kurt Suzuki hits one the other way into the Braves bullpen, and he puts Atlanta in front 1-0 after 2.
Sox thanks to Kurt Suzuki and the big home run. What else has happened to Kurt today? Well, he was nominated for the Roberto Clemente Award for the Braves for stuff that he does on and off the field. The Kurt Suzuki Family Foundation helps kids, chronic illnesses, and research. They do a lot in the community. Kurt Suzuki is certainly one of the nicest guys you will ever meet. Walking out of that locker room on game day, he's one of the most intense players I've ever been around, and he certainly is tough. I said, Kurt, what's the secret to flicking the switch? He said, Paul, it's simple. I want to win. Way to go, Kurt Suzuki, on and off the field, a man that represents the Braves very well. Guys,
congrats to him. That's great.
That's great.
So as we thought, Charlie Culberson will stay in the game and take over for Dansby Swanson at shortstop. Swanson hit by a pitch to the helmet, walked off under his own power, but had to leave the game in the just completed Atlanta second. So Sean Newcomb, there's a lead, 1-0. Bottom part of the Red Sox orders coming up. Leon, Porcello, and then the top leadoff man Mookie Betts. And a strike to Leon. 0-1. Leon and Vasquez have done an excellent job behind the plate for Boston this year. In Leon's last 40 starts, the Red Sox have won 32 of those games with him working behind the dish. That's a nice percentage.
Wow, we got a high curveball call there from Jason Visconti, who's calling balls and strikes tonight.
That's hit to second. Ozzie gives ground and throws out the catcher easily. 1 out. And here's Porcello. Yes, he's an American League pitcher. Yes, American League pitchers seldom hit. However, Porcello is a rarity this year. He has 2 hits this season. They're both doubles. Why is that noteworthy? Well, in the grand history of the Red Sox, he's their only pitcher with 2 or more extra base hits as a pitcher since the DH was adopted back in 1973.
One was not just an ordinary double. One was a bases loaded double off Max Scherzer.
But that one in play, and Culberson's tested immediately and throws a laser to first. And 2 quick outs, and Mookie Betts is the batter. Now this series is so much fun for the obvious reasons. You've got the Red Sox and the Braves, 2 first-place teams. But it's so fun because of the great young players that are on each of these teams. We're going to be talking about guys like Betts and Bogarts and Acuna and Albies and Camargo for the next 10-12 years. And how many times are these kids going to match up for their respective clubs?
Yeah, it's like you say, a lot of fun for all those reasons. But yeah, I mean, if I think you're always looking for the young talent in the game and who's coming and who has what, and you're seeing a big slice of it here in this game between these 2 teams.
And there are a lot of clubs that wish they could redo the 2011 draft. Mookie Betts was not a #1 pick. He was not a first-round pick. He was a 5th-round pick.
Amazing. But you know what, Tom, don't you agree that when you played, certainly when I played, if a guy got to the big leagues and he was 23, 24, that was a young guy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there weren't
anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Yeah, I know when I was playing. Yeah, I think Ave might have been the youngest guy who got here. You know, at 20 years old or whatever he was. But you know, nowadays, yeah, like you say, 19, 20, not all that abnormal.
A 2-out walk puts Betts aboard. He's a stolen base threat, and Kinsler's coming up for Newcomb, his first walk in the game. Yeah, Betts first got to the big leagues in 2014. He was 21. And he's out of Nashville, Tennessee, Braves country. Went to John Overton High School. His uncle, Terry Shumpert.
Is that right?
Yep. So here's Kinsler. He flied out to center his first time up. And that skipped up there. Great stop by Suzuki. Ball one.
This guy's hit some fastballs hard in the last game and one at bat.
Kinsler came up in the Texas Rangers system, got to the big leagues in 2006 for the first time, then went to Detroit. Had some big years with the Tigers. As they embark on their rebuild, Kinsler went to the Angels, who sent him to the Red Sox.
Yeah, he wasn't having a great year really for the Angels this year, but got hot right before the trading deadline, and he has carried that over to the Red Sox.
And they've needed him because Dustin Pedroia has been hurt for most of the season. We saw Pedroia play against the Braves up in Boston, but knee problems for Pedroia have plagued him in 2018. 2 balls and a strike. Runner goes, huge jump, pitch high and taken. And that steals second, standing up.
Yeah, it wasn't a strike anyway, but that's a veteran move by Kinsler. He saw the jump and was taken all the way once he saw the jump.
He had too big a lead too to allow him to get that far out there without at least stepping off.
So a dangerous pitch for Kinsler. 3 balls and a strike. Tying run at second. 2 outs. And a bouncing ball to Charlie. He's got it. And he guns to first in time. Newcomb's out of it. He works around the walk. He protects the lead. And the top of the Atlanta order's coming up. Still 1-0 Atlanta. It's been a very special day already for Ronald Acuna Jr., as you'll see on our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
What a month. I voted for him for Player of the Month, period, and Rookie of the Month. And he had numbers very comparable to Justin Turner, who was elected the Player of the Month. But congratulations to Ronald.
Yeah, heck of a month.
So after a long 32-pitch second inning for Porcello, he's back to work quickly here in the home third. Acuna, Inciarte, and Freddie Freeman are coming up. Kurt Suzuki's homer, the only tally to this point, as this one's lifted out of play. And quickly Acuna behind 0-2. There's that high fastball, and Ronald's done an excellent job over this past month of laying off that pitch. The 1-2 now is cut on a miss. That might have been a strike had he not swung at it. Perfect pitch, and back-to-back strikeouts for Porcello. First time he's gotten Acuna. 1 out.
Yeah, good sequence right there. Typically you go hard. You guys go. He got the strike 1 on the sweeping slider. You get strike 2 on the high fastball, and when you typically you try to get a guy to chase, you figure they're going to come back soft away again, but he didn't. He doubled up and went back up there, and Ronald chased it.
It's the 4th time they've struck him out in 7 at bats.
So here's Ender. He's popped out 0 for 1, and off the plate, 1 ball, no strikes.
That's the slider that hit Dansby. There are a lot of good numbers for Porcello. 2-0 against the National League this year, a 2.08 ERA, 9-3 on the road with a sub-4 ERA. Walks and hits to innings pitched 1.19, outstanding.
Yeah, he's having a really good year. If he just didn't have to pitch against Toronto, he'd have a heck of a year going on.
And they got Toronto coming up at home.
Yeah. 1-2 with a 9 ERA against Toronto this year. So
2 balls, 2 strikes for Ender. Another chance in center for Bradley. They have room, 2 outs. The stat that jumps out for me in this era of bullpen specialization is this one for Porcello, including his 168 innings thrown this year. He's thrown 150 or more innings in 10 consecutive seasons. The only other pitchers to have as many as 9 straight seasons of 150 or more: Max Scherzer, John Lester, and Zach Greinke. So my point is, all due respect to Sale and Price, why isn't Porcello's name thrown about more frequently with guys like Lester and Scherzer?
Yeah, he's durable. I'll take it a step further. He's made his 25th start of the year against Philadelphia this year. And where is it? I lost it. 25th start of the year. Became only the 4th pitcher in the American League with 25 or more starts in each of his first 10 seasons. So for a young guy, he's been durable and going to the post and eating innings.
And winning.
And winning too. Yeah, don't forget that part.
Right.
Yeah, he had a tough year last year. He followed up his Cy Young. He had a little trouble. Only won 11 games only. But he's a slender guy. He's 6'5", 205. You know, Sale is slender. You know, they're both built in a similar way. Porcello's a little bigger than Chris Sale.
And I don't want to say a less violent delivery than Sale. I don't know that I'd say Sale's is violent, but it's just there's a lot of moving parts.
1-2 pitch for Freddie, fouled away again.
Sale, by the way, I'm told through a bullpen session today, he's expected to be back in the rotation next week. David Price will start against Houston when they go home.
Wonder if Sale will be unleashed against the Yankees. They've got 6 more games with New York coming up. And a big lead over them in the East. Freeman lines off the glove of Kinsler, a base hit.
You sure?
Well, yeah, good point.
E4.
No, the rule is if you don't touch the ball, it's an error. If you do touch it, it's got to be a hit. So Freeman's aboard with 2 outs. 3rd Atlanta hit with 2 outs in tonight's game. So Freddie's starting to find a few more holes. Let's see if Markakis can.
They still haven't changed Ozzy's to a hit.
Nick Markakis lined out his first time up. Well, I would love to see him pull an inside pitch and hit it down the right field line. That's just way off the line in right field. If Nick could do that, Freddie might be able to score from first.
Yeah, especially with 2 outs. Freddie would take off on the crack of the bat.
Taken low, ball 2. Nick is the first player in Braves franchise history with 35 or more doubles in 4 straight seasons. He's 1 double shy of 40 for the year. A remarkable season, an all-star year. Doesn't seem possible that this is the first time Nick Markakis has gone to the Midsummer Classic in his career.
No kidding.
Joe pointed out that slightly more closed stance. And Markakis takes a strike. 3-1 now your count.
And like I said, he's still hitting the ball on the nose at times. But there's also a point in the season, like this stage of the season, where you're not as quick as you were in May. And all of a sudden you're trying to use other parts of your body to get the bat to the hitting zone instead of your hands. And that becomes especially prevalent if you're closed.
So would Nick, let me ask it this way, is this something that could have just crept into his stance and he doesn't know it, or is this something he's doing by design?
No, it could be. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what he and Kevin Seitzer work on a daily basis with respect to that with stance, but it may be just something he's not even aware of. It's real easy to do.
So the inning continues after a walk for Nick. And here's Camargo, who popped out down the right field line. A very polite fan let Betts reach into the stands and catch it. Strike 1. Already 67 pitches for Porcello. And as we said, as good as he has been this year, the Braves are catching him at a good time. He's not the same guy right now that he was earlier in the year for the Red Sox. He's got to take advantage of that. He's helped the Braves by beating Philly and Washington in interleague play. And is trying to hand him his 8th defeat of the season here tonight. No balls, 2 strikes. Johan Camargo is our always best feature tonight, presented by Landmark.
Almost a month's worth of work to be hitting right at 360. Tremendous. 65 RBIs now. Braves 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position last night. 0 for 1 so far tonight. Another opportunity right here with 2 out.
And it's cut on and missed. So a single and a walk with 2 outs. Camargo strikes out, and we're off to the 4th. to you by Geico. 1 year ago today, J.D. Martinez went crazy at Dodger Stadium. He hit not one, not two, not three, but 4 homers. The 18th major league player to have a 4-homer game. He did it with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
He did it in L.A.
Yeah.
And none of them were cheapies. This one was like a low laser that went into the crowd.
J.D. Martinez last year between Detroit and Arizona hit 45 home runs. He did that in 119 games.
That's amazing.
He did not play until May the 12th. He was coming back from a sprained Lisfranc ligament in his right foot. He got hurt making a catch in spring training. So think about that. 119 games, man. It's 45 homers and drives in over 100 runs.
Yeah, that's crazy production.
1 ball, 1 strike as he leads off the 4th inning. Newcomb pitching solid baseball so far. He's given up just 1 Boston hit.
Martinez is so good that he gets his whole name on his uni.
Upstairs, ball 3. Sean struck him out on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball in the 1st inning. And now delivers a 3-1. That's downstairs, a leadoff walk.
One of the good things for J.D. Martinez this year as a free agent was that his former general manager Dave Dombrowski knew him in Detroit and knew what kind of guy he was, knew what kind of presence he is in the clubhouse, knew how hard he played, etc., etc. They didn't have to do a whole lot of homework on him in that regard.
He was still a pretty late sign, right?
Mm-hmm.
January or something?
February 26th.
That late?
Yep. And signed through the 2022 season.
Yeah, that's even later than I thought.
Well, the old saying, better late than never.
Yeah.
Boston's really happy they've got him. Great year. And here's Bogarts. And the plate jumping around on Newcomb now. Ball 2.
Sean's having a bit of a difficult time throwing first pitch strikes. Tough to get ahead.
Yeah, I think sometimes that's a product of knowing the team you're up against, you know, feeling like you've got to be perfect. Start trying to be a little bit too precise with your location.
That's smoke to left, and that's trouble. Acuna back. Can't get it. It's off the base of the wall. Ender backs up the play. And the runners will be held at 2nd and 3rd as Bogarts drives one to the 385 mark. A walk and a double has Boston in business. 2nd and 3rd with nobody out.
He had a ball like that yesterday in the 9th inning when they were putting the game away that really jumped. I was talking about him last night. Tommy is a guy who, when he came to the big leagues, kind of a utility guy, playing all over the place, even filling in at 3rd base, and now he's their cleanup hitter.
Yeah, in fact, I think he got a chance. Didn't he play a little bit of shortstop that year in the postseason, whatever, and really kind of had his coming out party in the postseason? And yeah, you'd think in this lineup, you know, if you didn't know better, he probably is not the guy you'd be picking to be hitting 4th in this lineup.
No.
So Steve Pearce is up with 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Infield hit for him his first time. And again, Newcomb is off the plate. 50 pitches, only 24 strikes for Sean so far in the game.
Yeah, look, I mean, I know these guys are a good fastball hitting team. You know that going out there, it's in your scouting report, but you know, the two things you got to be careful of when that happens is number one, not getting away from what you do well. If your fastball is your best pitch, you still got to throw it. You just got to throw it in good spots. You know you can't miss. But then the flip side of that is you know you can't miss. So you're putting pressure on yourself to make perfect pitches instead of trying to pitch maybe to outside thirds or inner thirds and attack. And it seems like he's trying to get ahead with the breaking ball and missing. And that's really putting pressure on his fastball command.
I'd still like to see him crowd him a little bit. Start him with a fastball inside to try to help set up that outer half.
Yeah, because even if you miss, so what?
Yeah.
You've established that you'll go in there and you push them off the plate a little bit.
Right.
So 2 walks and a double in the inning, and Boston has the bases loaded, and Nunez is coming up. And will Chuck Hernandez be coming out for a chat? Apparently so.
See, this is where it would be nice for Sean, and I'm not, you know, not saying now obviously, but maybe somewhere down the road, this is where it would be nice to have that 2-seam fastball, where you know a team's ultra aggressive. You know in this situation the guy's probably going to be aggressive with the bases loaded. You got that pitch you know you can command down in the zone, that if you command it the way you're supposed to, good chance you're going to get a ground ball and get an easy out or a double play.
Yeah, and Nunez, a very aggressive, as you said, first pitch fastball guy.
And that's really been the organizational philosophy for the Red Sox this year. In years past, remember the Kevin Youkilis, the Greek god of walks, take. That's not the case with this Red Sox team. They've been told you get a good first pitch, whale away, and they've done that. So let's see what Newcomb and company have in store for the Boston third baseman in a 1-0 Braves game. Bases loaded, nobody out in the top of the 4th. There's a good start. Late on a fastball. Strike 1.
Down and in.
Yeah, I don't think he was trying to go there, but so what? Nunez doesn't know that.
No.
Nunez, another late sign by Boston. He signed on February 18th. After playing with the Yankees, Minnesota, and the Giants. He was with them last year and then re-signed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Popped him up. Who's going to catch it? Charlie backpedals. There's the grab. No advance. And if Sam Holbrook were here, that would have been an infield fly. But Culberson made the catch. And there's the first out. And now you are a ground ball away from getting out of it. But beware Bradley. He swung at the first pitch and almost hit a home run. His first time up. Bradley hasn't had a lot of luck against left-handed pitching this year. Let's hope that continues.
Best breaking ball he's thrown.
First pitch strike.
Yep, good pitch to get into the count. Runners in scoring position. Hitter's going to be aggressive. These guys are hunting fastballs. Good pitch.
Bradley's 27 years young. And he's behind now. A ball and 2 strikes. Played college ball at South Carolina.
Tommy, don't you think these are moments for a guy like Sean Newcomb where he's gotten himself in a mess, a couple of walks, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, if I don't make some pitches here, I'm going to be out of the game.
Absolutely.
I got to suck it up and get after it.
Strike 3. Got the call.
Two good hooks. That one was at the top of the zone, but it made Bradley flinch. If you're going to flinch, it's hard to complain.
Bradley's first comment was he thought it was inside. Newcomb missed his spot, but it had the plate. And that's a huge second out. Now Leon, the catcher, who bounced out leading off the third inning. Ball one for Sandy Leon. In the air to center. Ender's going to catch it, and what a job by Newcomb. He loaded the bases, and Boston cannot break through. Still 1-0 Atlanta in game 2.
Big poster faces of themselves. That is so great. Way to go, guys.
Speaking of way to go, how about the growing moment for Sean Newcomb, Tommy? That was as impressive as we have seen. Bases loaded, nobody out, and he gets out of it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to. It's not a position you want to be in, particularly against a club like this. But yeah, I mean, look at these are all things that you learn about yourself, you challenge yourself. When you go through those things, you come out on the other side. It's kind of like that, okay, you know, and now whatever the rest of this year he gets into a situation like that, this is going to be a moment where he's going to say, okay, I've done it before against a really good team. Here's what I did. And it just gives you that experience to draw on when you find yourself in a situation like that again.
And if you get to postseason play, the name of the game in that forum is minimizing damage.
Absolutely.
And he minimized it as well as you can to preserve a 1-0 lead, a lead handed to him by Kurt Suzuki's 2-out second inning home run. So we're through 3.5 in game 2. Braves lead Boston. And that's in for a strike. Phillies are in action, as we told you, in Miami, and they're having their way with the Marlins. It's 7-1 Phillies in the 5th inning down at Marlins Park.
And they got 4 in the first.
And you figure 7 for Jake Arrieta ought to be enough tonight.
There it was. I was just wondering, you know, Kurt hit a fastball away from him for the home run. I thought, I wonder if they will alter their approach and try to come in. They did, and he just missed it. Good swing.
1-2 pitch. It's smoked into the shift. Kinsler, nice play, whips it over to first in time for out number 1.
He made that look easy.
Yeah, he did. Second baseman don't typically make that kind of throw, but made it pretty easy.
Good player.
Here's Albies. He reached on an error.
Yeah. Still under review. We hope. Maybe that's one of those they'll look at the end of the game and change. Let's hope so.
See if he can reach for a second time. As that's up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I still, and it should be changed, but I still would like to know the logic behind the call.
Me too.
I'm sure there's a reason.
Mike Stamos is the official scorer at SunTrust tonight. Mike's a good guy.
That way he's a good scorer.
Yeah.
You know, I think over the years he's become a very good official scorer, but this was the play, a near collision. No bobble. Bogarts lost his footing, and they charged the error to Kinsler.
Again, with basketball season upon us, maybe it was the illegal screen that was the reason for the error.
Yeah.
Charlie Culberson's on deck after Ozzie. The 2-2 pitch is cut on and missed. 4 strikeouts for Porcello, and this will be Culberson's first at bat of the game. He took over for Dansby Swanson, who left after he was hit with a pitched ball in the Atlanta second.
That was, it appeared kind of more on the back of the head. And looked like he might stay in the game, and then got to first and thought better of it.
Charlie's up to 286. He's hit 10 homers this year. And didn't get that. A sweeping slider. 0-2. And a swing and a miss. That was pretty slick by Porcello. A 1-2-3 fourth. He'll lead off the 5th. He's down a run. here at the Battery, and then a panoramic look inside SunTrust Park on our Xfinity cam tonight. Braves lead the Red Sox in game 2 1-0. A Kurt Suzuki homer. Sean Newcomb just pitched out of a bases loaded, nobody out mess, and he'll start the 5th inning, which is brought to you by Audi Q5 with his mound opponent Rick Porcello, who jumps on the first pitch and shoots it to right, and no chance for Markakis to fire to first. So Porcello, with his 3rd hit, leads off the 5th inning, and now you've got trouble afoot with the top of the Boston order coming up.
Must be an athlete.
He is an athlete. Not that good an athlete because he's right-handed, but
oh.
Saying it's harder.
It is
Harder to be a good athlete if you're left-handed. I like it.
Isn't this a funny game?
Yeah.
You get the bases loaded. Nunez, Bradley, and Leon can't get a hit, and then the pitcher does. So Newcomb has to tangle with Betts, whom he walked in the 3rd inning. Betts also popped out in the very 1st inning.
Good first pitch strike.
The 1-1 is high, ball 2.
Just off a tiny bit with that fastball.
Boy, that was a good pitch too.
Yep.
Mookie Betts was a second baseman when he started his professional career. The Red Sox moved him to the outfield in 2014, and he's won back-to-back Gold Gloves out there.
Good pitch.
Oh, mercy, was it ever.
Behind in the count, a 3-1 changeup.
Well, and that's what he's got to do more of, particularly against a good fastball hitting team. You want to get him off your fastball. Good way to do it there.
So full count, and Betts walks. That's the problem for Sean from time to time. He has so many extra base runners because of high pitch counts and walks. 4 of them tonight. That's 73 walks in 149 innings.
No fewer than 2 walks in his last 6 outings.
Yeah, and he knows obviously he can't keep doing it, doesn't want to do it, but I think again that's another example of, you know, you want to make that next step. There's where you got to make it. You make a great pitch to get back into the count at 3-2, and you know you got one shot at nailing them with your fastball in. You got to nail it. You can't miss.
That went around the plate. Another first pitch ball, this time to Ian Kinsler, who's 0 for 2. He grounded out to Charlie Culberson to end the 3rd inning, his last time up. Shane Carl was up an inning ago. He's up again. And for Newcomb, he's throwing a 3-hit shutout with more balls than strikes pitched.
It's hard to do.
Kinsler late there, 2 balls and a strike.
But he was hunting that fastball, ready for it.
See, that's the other thing too. When you're, you got to throw that fastball in to get him off of you a little bit, but you also got to throw it even more if you're a fastball away is not hitting his spots, because you can't let them keep getting a look at you missing.
Lifted into shallow right center. Who's going to take this one? It'll be Markakis. There's a pop out by Kinsler. Now he's a ground ball away from getting out of another mess. 1 out.
I think that's where the mistakes were made yesterday, Tom. It was in an effort to, if they were behind in the count, and I distinctly remember to Kinsler, the effort to go away, neutralize him by throwing the fastball away, missing, catching too much of the plate, and he's all over it.
Right.
2 on, 1 out for Martinez. Hammered off Camargo's glove. He must have taken his eye off it. It was right to him.
Yeah, I think that might have been I might have a shot at a line drive double play, and I think he might have peeked at the runner.
It didn't stick. And instead of a second out or maybe a double play, Boston has him loaded again.
That's a base hit.
Yep.
All right, now I'm completely confused.
Yeah.
So here's Bogaerts. He's lined to third hard. He's also doubled. His double went off the base of the wall over Acuna's head and left.
All right, well, you don't want to keep doing this to yourself, but do it again. Get out of it.
Bogaerts has hit into a double play or two. He's hitting to 14 of them. Martinez was their leader, along with Nunez, 17 apiece. So Bogaerts next on that doubled up list for the Red Sox. 1 ball, no strikes.
Came right back with it. Good pitch. Certainly wasn't looking for, after bouncing one in the dirt, wasn't looking for another one.
He didn't chase it. 2 balls and a strike.
I was thinking there 2-1. That's a perfect spot for a changeup. But if you miss and you go 3-1, his fastball control has been so iffy that you can't really trust it to come back 3-1 with a fastball just to try to get an automatic strike.
Right, but even in the 2-1 count where your fastball command hasn't been that good, why not take a shot at it? You know,
Well,
it's almost it's almost like you got nothing to lose.
Got to throw a strike here, and he couldn't. Bases loaded walk, and Bogaerts will allow Boston tie the game. An inning that started with a hit to the pitcher. 5th walk.
Sean walked in to see where that pitch was. Well, he'll be able to go in and look at the monitor and find out for himself. Looked like a decent pitch.
So Newcomb will leave 78 pitches, 41 balls, 37 strikes. Boston has tied the game. Nuke leaves with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 5th. The game on a bases loaded walk. This pitching change brought to you by Old Dominion, the official freight carrier of Major League Baseball. Don't envy Shane Carl. bases loaded, 1 out. And Steve Pearce is the hitter. He's reached on an infield hit and he's walked. 1 of 5 issued by Sean Newcomb tonight.
He had a good inning yesterday against Boston.
See if Pearce can be doubled up here. And that missed inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Pearce has had 174 at bats this year. He's hitting to 1 double play. No better time for number 2 than right here. The pitch. There's a break. He fouled it off. That would have been ball 2. Carl's been placed on the number 9 spot on the Braves lineup card. That's the pitcher's spot, which is due first leading off the 5th inning. So I would assume Brian Sitker hopes Shane can get out of this frame, keep the game tied, and then go to his bench. Ball 2.
You can afford to do that now with the September call-ups. You got more bats, more arms.
Two balls and a strike. A base hit to left. Betts will score. Martinez will be stopped at third as Acuna got to it quickly, and Boston has the lead. So a 2-hit night for Pearce. Martinez at third, Bogarts at second.
Hit it hard and hit it in the hole. Let's not forget about the ball, the line drive that was hit at Camargo too, that could have been caught, would have been the second out of the inning. Might have been a difference maker in this inning.
And the man that hit that ball is the man standing at third base, Martinez. Here's Nunez. He's lined to short and he's popped to short. He's up with the bases loaded for the second straight at bat. And a strike. If I were to describe this Boston offense in one word, I would say relentless. There is just a treadmill-like approach. One terrific hitter after another in a very deep lineup that tonight doesn't even have the DH because of the National League ballpark. Little tapper left side. Camargo bobbles, throws to first. Another run will score. And Boston extends the lead on a tapper to third base. So yes, that missed line drive costs Atlanta another run. It's 3-1 Red Sox. Nunez puts it in play. That's his 44th RBI. And here's Bradley, who will be intentionally walked, and Atlanta will go after Sandy Leon.
Well, you've heard us say it 100 times, if not more, and it wasn't original from us. It was from you guys, Tom. From I think John Smoltz may have been the first I heard say it, but in the postseason, a walk is a rally.
Yeah.
And if you're issuing 5 walks, which Sean did today, it's hard against a good ball club to keep them off the board.
Yeah, I mean it is. You're not going to continue to give them those kinds of opportunities and continue to find your way out of those situations. They're just too good a hitting club.
Leon lined out his last time with the bases loaded. He's up again with 2 outs. And again they're loaded. 1 ball, no strikes.
Hitting about the same left or right-handed. 198 left-handed, but 4 of his 5 homers left-handed.
Good change up there.
Beauty.
Three runs across for the Red Sox in the 5th. And now the 1-1 pitch to the Boston catcher. 2-1. Like the Pirates who came to town before the Red Sox, they are not chasing. And now he's got to throw a strike to Leon or another run will score for the Red Sox. The pitch is hammered a mile high and well foul.
That go up on the roof?
I think it might have. I don't think we've seen one hit over the roof here. So the runners will be off to the races here with 2 outs. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. And Carl ends the Boston 5th. The Red Sox score 3 times and take a 3-1 lead midway through game 2. Park has to offer with the college ticket special. This special offer includes a $10 general admission ticket and a $5 credit to spend on concessions or merchandise during the game. Head to braves.com/college and use your .edu email to take advantage of this special offer.
Arthur Blank in the house.
Nice to see him here. They've got a big game Thursday night, right?
Against the Eagles.
Yep.
Falcons open up the 2018 season. Wish Mr. Blank and all the Falcons best wishes for a great year. And let's see if the Braves can come back against Porcello, who's now been staked to a 2-run lead. Shane Carl was brought in to get the Braves out of that 5th inning. He did that. And Preston Tucker will pinch hit for him starting the 5th inning. Then the top of the order, Acuna, Inciarte, and hopefully Freeman and others. Keep in mind, Porcello led off that Boston 5th with a base hit. As Tom said, it's really hard for right-handed pitchers to be as athletic as the lefties, so maybe that extra time on the base paths saps some of his strength.
Let's hope so, yes.
Braves, as you recall, traded Preston Tucker to the Reds for Adam Duvall. Then brought him back on a cash transaction. So here he is. And Porcello delivers a called for a strike. Porcello struck out 5 men. 3 of the last 4 hitters have been strikeout victims. And Tucker now faces an even count. Miami's trying to come back against the Phillies. It's 8-3 Philadelphia. That game in the 8th inning. And Tucker just got hit by a pitch. Another one. That's 2 plunked by Porcello. Swanson in the helmet, Tucker in the foot. All help appreciated. Tying run comes to the plate, and the reigning Rookie of the Month, Ronald Acuna Jr. We know what kind of power he has. This place will go crazy if he goes into launch mode.
Yeah, there wasn't much that any pitcher was doing in August to get Ronald out. But the Red Sox have done a steady dose of this. Chase the breaking ball. Breaking balls where you can't really do much with it, and then try to go up in the zones. Porcello, nice job of that his last sequence with Ronald. Started with the slider down and away for a chase, doubled it up, and then doubled up a couple of fastballs up in the zone, and nice job of attacking the zone against Acuna.
Goes behind, no balls and a strike. Ronald's 0 for 2. And now he's in an 0-2 count. Porcello's had to throw a lot of pitches. He's about to make his 89th. Ronald laid off that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And naturally, Alex Cora wants to win every game, but he also has to have an eye on October and preserving the energy of his aces.
They have a lot of weapons available in their bullpen, and it's already getting busy.
Embry and Scott. Probably Scott, the left-hander.
Acuna shoots one to right, but that's going to hang up for Betts. 1 on, 1 out, and here is Ender. Ender has flied out to center twice, so he's 0 for 2 in the game. Tucker a very short lead at first, and Ender didn't get it. Swing and a miss. 76-mile-an-hour curveball. And fouled away. 0-2 for the Braves center fielder. Well, you can see the kinds of problems this three-headed monster for Boston would pose in postseason play. You could go with Sale as your 1, Porcello your 2, and Price your 3. Lefty, righty, lefty in a short series. And they've all been there before. The pitch lifted foul and out of play. It's still 0-2.
You were talking a minute ago when they were hitting about how their lineup just seems relentless. And I just went back to yesterday's game. There's some guys playing that are not playing tonight, like Benintendi, Moreland, Vasquez. And they got Devers back today and activated Brandon Phillips. They've got all kinds of tools.
And just think if you had to face them in an American League playoff game when they add another bat. Put the DH in there.
Well, the tough thing for them going into a postseason in the American League, though, is, you know, all due respect to everybody else in the wild card, you look at Cleveland and you look at Houston, there's a couple teams, too, that can run some pretty good arms at you.
Sure can. Funny thing, maybe not so funny to Boston, is that with this great record, they're going to run away with the best record in the league, so they'll play the wild card winner. Might be the Yankees.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? In a first-round matchup, Boston and the Yankees. Potentially 5 5-hour games. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ender representing the tying run. Braves have 2 hits. This one's popped up. And Bradley is going to have plenty of room to handle this one. And here comes Freddie Freeman with Tucker at first, and now 2 outs. Let's take a look at tonight's SunTrust Confidence Play. September's been very kind for Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, we talk about Ender and his good second half, and Julio Teheran about how he goes to the whip in the last couple of months. So too for Freddie Freeman.
Boston puts the shift on for him, and it's up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Preston Tucker, the first Braves leadoff man to get on tonight. That was via a hit by pitch. And a good hook.
Or was it ever?
Ball and a strike.
Speed, location, and break.
Line drive into left, and Bradley's there. Almost some miscommunication with Martinez, but Freeman and the Braves are done in the 5th inning. Porcello with a 3-1 advantage in game 2. T-Mobile, built for baseball. There was a fan in Pittsburgh who had a Votto for President shirt, and Joey Votto wanted that guy's shirt so much he promised him his Cincinnati jersey. How about that trade? And Joey Votto even signed the jersey and said, well, I'm from Canada, I can't be president, maybe I'll be prime minister. What a trade.
Yeah, that's a good trade. Heck of a trade.
I don't think the fans saw that one coming.
No. What a cool gesture by Joey Votto. In Pittsburgh, as Luke Jackson's going to come on now with Braves down 2 runs. It's Rafael Devers batting for Porcello, who's out after 5 innings of 1-run, 2-hit ball. So the Braves find themselves in the Red Sox bullpen, which is imposing too. Rafael Devers, just activated today by the Red Sox. 16 homers, 55 RBIs, a .242 average.
Left hamstring strain. Put him on the DL.
Got to throw strikes to these Red Sox. And that one wasn't close. 4 straight out of the zone, and Devers is aboard. That is the 7th walk Atlanta has issued the Red Sox in this game. And back to the top with Mookie Betts. Betts has walked twice and scored once. And Jackson's missed with 5 in a row.
He worked 2/3 of an inning yesterday, had a strikeout.
Seven straight. Three balls and a strike now for Mookie Betts. Good choice, good result, full count. Runner goes, bouncing ball toward third. There'll be only one play, and Camargo makes it. Devers at second, one out. Kinsler is 0 for 3.
It's a key point in the ball game for Luke Jackson to try to hold him right there. Braves are not going to have to face Porcello anymore.
Little tapper. Can anybody catch up to it? Camargo did, but can't get a handle. Everybody's safe on an infield hit by Kinsler.
Yeah, it's one of those games that has a weird feel to it. You know, I mean, the Red Sox have had, that's a tough play for Johan, but Red Sox have had all kinds of opportunities, but at the end of the day, it's only 3-1. It feels like it's 8-1, you know, but it's only 3-1. So yeah, this is big right here. You get out of this inning, get into their bullpen.
And as we told you, JD Martinez is a double play candidate if he can get it on the ground and field it cleanly. He's 1 for 2. Remember, he hit that line drive that Camargo couldn't hang on to, and that led to the 3rd Boston run.
Oh, baby.
Pretty good pitch.
95 down at the bottom corner.
Yeah, the corners of the zone have been a little elusive. That upper portion, been some help up there, but it's tough to live up there.
1 ball, no strikes. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Got that one called. It might be a makeup.
I know that shows a ball on pitch track, but I don't know how it can end up there as a slider and not cross the plate at some point in
when
time.
it's breaking. You're right.
And that's the key. It's where it crosses the plate, not where it's caught. That one taken low, ball 2. Washington briefly tied the Cardinals 4-4. St. Louis has gotten back-to-back homers in D.C. They now lead 7-4. Two balls and a strike. Instead to first. Do want to keep an eye on Kinsler. Heck, you want to keep an eye on most of these Red Sox. They are a running team. They've stolen over 100 bases as a club in the American League. And a little pop behind first. Long run, Freeman, foul ground. He makes the catch and makes a great throw to the plate. What a play by Freeman for the second out.
He's as good as anybody in the game, turning his back to home plate, going down the line to make a catch.
That was a great play.
It was.
I didn't think he had a chance to catch that ball.
Me neither. And Devers was tagging, was going to try to score.
So you get Martinez to pop out with first and third. That's a big break. Now you hope for the best with Bogaerts, who drew a bases loaded walk his last time up. So Bogaerts now with 89 RBIs. He's knocked in a run in 15 RBIs in his last 15 games. So he's coming on strong as the games move into mid-September. 1 ball, no strikes.
This guy scares me in these situations right now because he is so locked in. He's not chasing bad pitches, at least as a rule. And remember, the only out he's made tonight was a line shot that was caught by Camargo.
Yeah, he hasn't really flinched on too many breaking balls off speed stuff. I mean, he's just locked in on fastball, and when he's getting it, he's hitting it.
And getting good counts.
Another in a long line of terrific offensive shortstops in our game. Last 3 years, he's led the major league shortstops in hits, runs, and is second in batting average. A terrific player who enters his 5th full big league season at the tender age of 25. So when you look at these guys, Betts and Bogaerts, think Acuna and Albies 2 or 3 years down the road, you might be seeing similar numbers for the Braves. 2 balls and a strike. Bogaerts asks for time. Jackson ready is 2-1.
High target from Kurt, but the pitch was in the dirt. That's a tough one to glove.
Another walk. And again, the Red Sox have the bases loaded. It's the 3rd consecutive inning they've done that. The Braves have walked 8 Red Sox tonight. Unbelievably, one of them has scored.
Well, again, you can't keep playing with fire with this lineup, no matter what part of the lineup you're in.
Visit Synovus for your banking, lending, and investing needs. Synovus, the bank of here.
This may sound like a silly question, Tom, but I'll ask it anyway. When you're a young pitcher like Sean Newcomb and you're seeing a team like the Boston Red Sox, the first time you saw the New York Yankees, is it hard to put that intimidation factor out of your head when you are so early in your career like Sean is?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say it's hard per se, but it's definitely a factor, no question about it. I mean, Look, again, he grew up there. There's a history of the game up there. A big part of that history obviously concerns the Yankees. So yeah, you start facing these teams for the first time. Yeah, it's a big deal. You know, you find yourself in a little bit of that. You know, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. I'm facing the Red Sox, team I grew up watching. Oh my God, this is the Yankees. And then you're next thing you're going, oh my God, I got to make some pitches. I got to try to get some people out. So it is. Yeah, there is a balancing act.
Where these base runners come from?
Yeah.
Line base hit left field. That's going to score 2 more for Boston. Steve Pearce has a 3 RBI night. You play with fire, you're going to get burned. And the Red Sox now lead 5-1.
Inner half, very similar to the base hit he had last inning when short and third. Quick bat.
So Nunez is up there. He's 0 for 3, but does have an RBI that came on a ground out in the 5th inning. Boston has 5 runs, 7 hits. The Braves have walked 8 in 5 2/3 innings. And unfortunately, Luke couldn't take advantage of that pop out. Gathered in by Freddie Freeman for the 2nd out. Bogarts walked, and then Pearce cashed in a 2-run, 2-out hit. And Nunez now behind 0-2.
I was just trying to think of a team like them when I was playing, and one team comes to mind, and that was a Baltimore team that played in the World Series that had Eddie Murray and Rich Dower and Cal Ripken, Doug DeCenze, Ken Singleton. There was a never-ending line, it seemed like, of hitters coming to the plate, and every time a situation was big, one of those guys came through.
And if you walked hitters in front of him, you paid a heavy price. The Braves have tonight through 5.5. Now on sale with a 2019 A-List membership. You'll get access to postseason tickets for this year, and you'll get exclusive benefits, priority access, and year-long discounts next year as well. Experience the big moments like never before. Head to Braves.com/A-List today. 5-1 Boston. Guy's got his rally chop haircut ready to go. That'd be a good look for Joe and Tom, don't you think? As Stephen Wright is on for the Red Sox. What a valuable weapon this man can be in a variety of roles, fellows, for the Red Sox. Long relief, he could spot start, and because he throws a knuckleball, the contrast that his repertoire shows an opposing offense has to be very difficult to match up with.
Yeah, certainly a different look from Porcello, that's for sure.
Came in from the bullpen, brought his own catcher's glove with him to give to Leon.
So Nick Markakis will greet him first. Nick has lined out and walked. Camargo and then Kurt Suzuki. Kurt's the man that's accounted for the Braves run. A second inning homer that gave the Braves their first lead in this series, 1-0. Boston scored the last 5 runs thanks to having the bases loaded in each of the last 3 innings. And 8 Braves walks. Little pop, long run. Nunez over near the tarp. He runs out of real estate. It's 1-2.
Coming into this game tonight, Nick Markakis had a full season of games in his career hitting against the Red Sox. 162 games, 271 average, 10 homers, and 48 doubles. No surprise there.
Into the seats foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch number 6 for Wright is on the way, and Nick pops it up. Out goes Bogarts, and in comes Martinez. And there's the first out of the Braves' 6th inning. Stick around for the middle of the 7th inning. It's The Stretch. It's presented by Advance Auto Parts. Here's Johan. He's 0 for 2. A pop out and a strikeout. See if Johan can give this big crowd something to cheer about. At 40,000 here last night. We're in the mid to upper 30s again tonight. And if the Braves get over 31,000 or so, they'll go over 2.2 million in attendance for the season. One more game in this series here tomorrow. A 12-10 first pitch. Braves live at 11:30. We then hit the road to Arizona and San Francisco and come back to Atlanta September 14th for the final homestand of the regular season. Washington, the Cardinals, and the Phillies. Nunez at third. Gets a one-hopper and a strike to first for the second out. And here's Kurt Suzuki. I want to know what the launch angle was on his home run. Let's find out. Our StatCast AI powered by AWS.
Saying it wasn't real high, but the exit velocity was good.
Yeah, very low 23 degrees. A 400-footer.
So 10 home runs for Suzuki. It came with 2 outs in the second. Let's see if he can connect with 2 outs here in the 6th. And a strike.
This is his 6th career homer against the Red Sox. And behind Nick Markakis' 10 career homers, that's second on their team.
That's hammered past Nunez and into left field. That'll head to the corner. Martinez will dig it out, and it's a second extra base hit for Suzuki tonight. Another Atlanta double. Kurt's 22nd of the year.
That knuckleball didn't do much.
Didn't knuckle much.
No.
No.
Boy, he hit it hard too.
So here's Ozzie Albies. He's going to hit right-handed against the right-handed pitcher.
Camargo just did too.
Johan did that yesterday against Wright, if memory serves, and that one floated upstairs. Ball 1. Suzuki at second with the 3rd Atlanta hit. And an even count. Ozzie started to get things turned around a bit at the plate. For the moment, he's 0 for 2. But over the last week, he's earned our Zaxby's indescribably good player honors.
Yeah, he had a rough month of August, but got it going near the last week of the month of August at nearly 350.
8 hits so far on this homestand. Might be credited with a 9th after the game. Remember, he was the guy that hit that ball that caused the near collision between Kinsler and Bogarts that was ruled an error, which defies logic. Good count here. 3 balls and a strike. And he takes a walk. If he can start doing that a little more, I think that'll help him immeasurably. Ozzie's not walked a lot this year. In fact, he's gone stretches where he's gotten no walks in about a month. And just looking back through the book, that's his first walk since August 28th. And now it brings up Charlie Culberson. We know what dramatics Charlie is capable of. He's had a big second half. He launches one here. The Braves would be down a run. Charlie took over for Dansby Swanson, who was hit by a pitch in the second. And a strike. Since the All-Star break, Charlie Culberson's hitting .338 with 6 homers. And that's tipped into the catcher's glove. And it's 0-2.
He's gone slower and slowest on those 2 knuckleballs. Wright missed the first 15 games of the season. He was on the suspended list for violating the league's domestic abuse policy.
And the 0-2. He just did stay alive.
But you guys are right. When you have someone who can start, relieve, pitch in long relief, that's sure a valuable asset in the postseason. Use him wherever he's most needed.
I think as a hitter, Joe, following Chris Sale with this guy. Good luck. No balls, 2 strikes. And the 0-2 pitch. Good battle here. Culberson staying alive. If he can get aboard. Lucas Duda has grabbed a bat, and he would come on to pinch hit.
At some point, you figure he's going to try to come in on Charlie. Maybe not. Set up away.
It pops out of the catcher's glove. Culberson swings and misses, and that retires the side. The Braves get a double and a walk with 2 outs, but nothing else. the visiting locker room on Thursday, September 27th here at SunTrust. You'll button up your Braves uniform, lace up your cleats, and take the field like your favorite players. Sign up today at Braves.com/Brave for a day. And this is a moment that a young man has probably dreamed about for a long time. As you see Rene Rivera in, it's Kyle Wright, Braves #1 pick in 2017. And he's making his big league debut tonight against the Boston Red Sox.
Like the strikeout to innings pitched ratio. He really came on in the second half, Tom.
Yeah, really did. Pitched real well the last few times out there in AAA, and pitched some relief appearances down there, I think, to get him ready for this. So this is an exciting time for him and an exciting time for the organization too.
And he'll face Jackie Bradley Jr. His first pitch as a big leaguer is 95 and off the plate. And that baseball will be headed to Kyle Wright's mantle. First one he's thrown as an Atlanta Brave. He's the first player from the 2017 draft to get to the big leagues. And the last player for the Braves to make the majors 1 year after he was drafted was Alex Wood, who debuted in 2013 after the Braves took him out of the University of Georgia. Wright has been a starting pitcher, but what a weapon this kid could be in postseason play. That's why the Braves moved him to the bullpen for his last 3 appearances with Gwinnett. Two balls, 2 strikes from Kyle Wright. Swing and a miss. And Bradley lost the bat. So Wright strikes out his first big league hitter, and Bradley wins the hammer toss.
What a good hard breaking ball. Trophy.
He attacked him.
Yeah, he did.
And it paid off.
Went after him early in the count with his fastball and got their respect of his fastball and get him to chase that pitch.
So 2 souvenirs for Wright, who throws another strike to Leon. Kyle's 6'4", 215 out of Huntsville. He's 22. He'll be 23 on October 3rd. MajorLeagueBaseball.com's top 100 prospects list had Wright the 30th rated prospect out of the top 100.
And it was peppered with Atlanta Braves prospects. I want to see that hard slider again.
Yeah, you might. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, this is what the Braves envisioned when they went through that very painful 3.5-year rebuild. All the trades, all the big league losses resulted in very high draft picks and the acquisition of a lot of terrific arms in this system. And as it was envisioned, wasn't going to be just 1 or 2 guys a year, but wave after wave of pitching prospects. And guys, that's one of the most exciting developments of this year. All these youngsters who've stepped up and pitched well for the Braves in this 2018 pennant race. Blistering fastball at 95. 2 hitters face, 2 swinging strikeouts.
First game for Rene Rivera. He's never caught him before, maybe in the bullpen the last day or 2. And he was really pumping his fist when he gave the sign,
you know, like, come on, let's do this.
Cheering him on.
Yeah,
it was
come
great.
on, kid. Yeah, that was great.
Kyle Wright was picked to go first in the draft in 17. He by a lot of different publications, they had him rated first. And you know how things ebb and flow with the draft and teams and what they want and who they think they can sign or what it's going to take to sign him. Somehow, some way, he dropped to Atlanta,
which picked 5th. And that's the other thing about the rebuild. If you're going to have 90+ lost seasons and you're going to be picking in the top 5 of the draft, you don't want to miss on those players. And with Wright, the Braves feel like they've got a top of the rotation guy for their future. And he's looked awfully good as he struck out the first 2 Red Sox he's faced. Now he's staring down Brock Holt, who pinch hits. Wright's out of the game after a scoreless 6th inning. Bouncing ball to first. Freeman's got it. Welcome to the show. Kyle Wright, 3 up, 3 down against the Red Sox with a couple of strikeouts. What an exciting night for that terrific looking Braves pitching prospect. Time for the stretch. It's presented by Advanced Auto Parts. 5-1 Boston in game 2.
The stretch is brought to you by Advanced Auto Parts and in part by CarQuest Motor Oil.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome into the stretch. I'm Kelsey Wingert alongside Nick Green, and welcome to the show, Kyle Wright. Man, what an inning for him. But, you know, we're in this September baseball right now. We're pushing for October, and the race is close right now as it stands. The Braves with 24 games left in the season with a 4-game lead over the Phillies. But, Nick, we're seeing the best of the best right now. What have you learned from this Braves team watching them play the Sox?
Well, what it's all about is pitching and defense. You have to limit the walks. You cannot give these teams extra bases. You can't give them extra opportunities. You have to make the plays you're supposed to make and also limit the walks. In general, it's all about pitching and defense once it comes down to the stretch.
Well, let's take a look at the standings. You got the wild card standings are bonkers, but let's check out the division leaders. So right now you have the Braves, the Cubs, and the Rockies all leading their divisions. The NL West is wild as well, only a half-game lead over there. The Cubs and the Braves both sitting 4 games up, but you know, you look over at that wild card race, Nick, and we have the Diamondbacks coming up next, which could prove to be a very important series here.
Yeah, it could. They have great pitching, but they've struggled to score some runs. Who knows what's going to happen in the NL West? The Dodgers, they only have 7 home games left, but they've been better on the road. Colorado, 15 home games. I like where the Braves sit in the East. I think they're going to win the division. The last 7 games of the season are going to be huge, and last 7 out of 10 against Philly, that should be fun.
Which division do you have your eye on the most besides the NL East?
Well, you got to look at the Central because I think you might have 2 wild card teams out of the Central.
All righty. Well, guys, we'll get you right back to Chip, Joe, and Tom after a quick word from our friends at Advanced Auto Parts.
Visit your nearest Advanced Auto Parts store to get the quality parts you want from people that know a lot about them. Advanced Auto Parts. Let's get you back on the road.
Nick and Kelsey, thank you very much. What a night for Kyle Wright. 1, 2, 3, first big league inning with a couple of strikeouts. Now we'll see if the Braves can rally. As Rene Rivera is on, Joe Kelly is the new Boston pitcher. He can throw hard. And he delivers a fast strike. It's 0-1. "64 games now for Kelly. Out of the Red Sox pen. Today's swing and a miss. Again, it's going to be so fascinating to watch playoff baseball and the difference you see in postseason play versus regular season play. You might see talented starting pitchers go 4 innings and get yanked out of the game so that the managers can get to guys that are throwing 98 miles an hour, and you might see 5 or 6 of them protect a lead. And Kelly certainly fits into that mold for Boston as he just struck out Rivera on 3 pitches, and that's how the home 7th starts.
Yeah, that certainly seems to have been a formula last year for sure, and even the year before. But I think the danger in that is what you saw the last couple games of last year's World Series. There were some boys running on fumes when they were going out there.
Yeah, sure right. So here's Acuna. Ronald 0 for 3 tonight. 5-1. Boston has the lead. Red Sox have 7 hits. The Braves have 3 so far. And that's up and in, ball 1.
Kelly gave up a run yesterday, the home run to Ozzie Albies.
Ronald's had a tremendous month. As you know, he's our Yellowwood Bringing the Lumber feature.
Last 25 games. Goes back to August, where he was the Rookie of the Month.
And if you average almost a run a game as your leadoff hitter, that's pretty darn good.
Yep.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Crowd tonight 35,333 for game 2. Braves over 2.2 million in attendance at SunTrust this year. The pitch is lifted out of play, and we'll do it again. You heard Nick and Kelsey talk about the important road trip coming up for the Braves, and the first opponent out there will be the Diamondbacks. Arizona's lost 6 of 8 games. They've scored 14 runs in those 8 games. And when the Braves get to the desert, that'll start a stretch of 20 consecutive games for the Diamondbacks against winning teams.
Yeah, that September schedule is not an easy one for the Braves.
1-2 pitch. And it's really a chaotic National League playoff race. Entering today's action, there are 7 teams within 2 games of a playoff spot.
Well, nobody out west wants to play the Padres. They're just knocking people off left and right.
And Arizona's got to play them tonight with Robbie Ray on the mound. Joey Lucchesi pitching for San Diego. 2-2 pitch from Kelly. And banged foul. That got a piece of Acuna's foot on the way by. Giants are in Colorado. Derek Rodriguez against German Marquez.
Rockies won 4 in a row, haven't they?
And they're back atop the pile in the National League West. A half game ahead of the Dodgers. That's going to be a crazy race. Arizona's a game and a half out and in 3rd. So the Braves have a chance to help themselves and play the role of the spoiler if they can have a good series against Arizona. Trip will continue to San Francisco and the Giants before the Braves return home on the 14th against the Nationals. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Base is empty, 1 out. And a good take, full count. Ender Inciarte is next. Freddie Freeman lurking as well. And a good at bat by Acuna to draw a 1-out walk.
Good at bat, real good. Just a hard thrower. You know, guys, this is game number 138. Barring anything out of the ordinary over what's happened up to this point in 138 games, don't you still have a feeling that it's all going to come down to that last week?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. 7 games against the Phillies, 3 or 4 against the Mets, whatever it is for the Braves, and Phillies have Colorado.
Well, that's the way baseball would love it. It's going to be incredible drama, incredible theater. There will be, I'm sure, stratospheric highs, and there will be gut-wrenching lows along the way. But the luxury for the Braves at the moment is they have a 4-game lead. No balls and a strike for Ender. Acuna at first. And laced foul and out of play. It's 0-2.
Yeah, and I think it couldn't have worked out better for baseball either, in that, you know, I think the fear with the wild card was always you're going to lose a little bit of the pennant races, so to speak, the divisional things. But with so many teams in those 2 divisions within striking distance, you could, like you say, you could come down to the last week and you could be in first place 1 minute and completely out of the picture the next.
You win 3 in a row, and your fortunes change immediately as Ender is down on strikes. 2 strikeouts for Kelly in the 7th. And it may come down to scheduling. Really, when you think about it, Jason Stark had a great article today about that in The Athletic today. The Rockies, for example, 19 of their last 26 games are at Coors Field. The Brewers, who've been trying to catch the Cubs all summer long and are leading tonight, have 15 games left against sub-500 teams. That's a big lift, potentially.
Brewers won a big one yesterday against Chicago.
The Phillies, who are certainly in the playoff hunt. Phillies would be 3.5 back in the wild card, 4 behind the Braves. They're trying to be the first National League team in history to make the playoffs with a team batting average under 240. But they're within striking distance. As Freeman hits a slow roller to the right side. This will be Bogarts with the peg to first, and that will retire the side. Nothing doing in the Atlanta 7th. Top of the Boston orders coming up.
Atlanta Braves baseball is sponsored by your local Ford dealer, the Georgia Lottery, and by the All-South Highway Safety Team. The All-South Highway Safety Team reminds you to play it safe by always wearing your seatbelt.
Welcome back to SunTrust Park, everybody. The debut of pitcher Kyle Wright. And guys, I want to say this. When he showed up at Vanderbilt his freshman year, he was more of a hitter than a pitcher, played first and third base. But he tripped over a teammate while walking out to stretch, and he broke his left wrist. So coming back, he couldn't swing the bat. They used him in the pen by the end of his freshman year, where Dansby was playing shortstop. He was their closer. The rest is history.
How interesting.
You talk about a little bit of fate or divine intervention or something. My goodness.
Good story, Paulie.
2 balls and a strike for Mookie Betts. And lifted into right field. Markakis is there, and he makes the play for out number 1. I just like the fact that, again, it's only his first inning and a third in the major leagues, but he's attacked these Boston hitters. Get after him. Even if they hit it 7.5 times out of 10, they're going to be out.
Yeah.
So why not take your chances? Here's Kinsler, an infield hit and a run scored in the 6th inning. And he takes one inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Red Sox magic number to clinch a playoff spot is 7. Any combination of Boston wins and Yankee losses means Boston's headed to postseason play. The Yankees are playing Oakland out west tonight. The Yankees and Oakland are the top 2 wild card teams in the American League. And that's another club I don't think anybody would really relish playing right now or in postseason play. The young upstart Oakland A's, who in so many ways are very similar to the Braves. A terrific young homegrown talent out west. And 3 balls and a strike.
You know, one thing about what Paul was just talking about with Wright moving in to be their closer as a freshman. He's done this before out of the bullpen not so long ago and made 3 relief appearances for Gwinnett before he was called up. So to your point, Chip, he could be a real asset the month of September working out of the pen.
Kinsler's aboard after the Braves issued their 9th walk in this game. Here's Martinez. He's earned a walk. Reached on an infield hit. That was a line drive that Camargo couldn't hold on to at third base. And then he popped out at first base. In case you wonder, the Braves season high for most walks allowed is 10 in a game, and it's happened 3 separate times. All of them in April. Oh, and 1 for Martinez. Rivera smothered that. 2 balls and a strike. Brewers lead the Cubs 3-1 at Miller Park. That game's in the middle innings. Cardinals lead the Nats 7-5 late in Washington. Pittsburgh beats Cincinnati 7-3. That's a final. Here it's 5-1 Red Sox. And again lifted toward right. Long run for Nick, but he'll have plenty of room. And Martinez is retired. 2 outs.
Kyle's a big guy, like so many of the Braves young pitchers that they've brought up. He's 6'4", 215. He's gonna probably put on some more weight, get stronger.
And here's Bogaerts. 2 walks, a double, and RBI tonight. Well, that is a sharp pitch. A down and away strike.
Yep. Be a good one to learn how to do all the time.
0-1 for Bogaerts. The pitch is a ball. The throw to second is going to short hop in front of Albies. And Kinsler, as we told you, is not afraid to run, picks up his 12th steal. And there he stands with 2 outs.
Yeah, that was just a case of Kyle paying no attention to him.
Got a walking lead.
So Wright is ready with his 1-1 pitch to Bogaerts. And he popped him up. Acuna in left is there, and he's got it. 2 scoreless innings for Kyle Wright. He's walked 1, struck out 2, and we're late in Atlanta.
And like we mentioned earlier, we are in the chase for October baseball, so of course we'll keep you up to date with the Phillies, and it's time for our Xfinity game break. Phillies looking to even the series at 1 apiece with the Marlins. Top of the second, Phillies up 3. Asdrubal Cabrera hits a 2 RBI double to right field. That scores Carlos Santana and Rhys Hoskins to put the Phillies up 6-1. But he ain't done yet. Top of the fourth, same score. Cabrera this time a solo shot to right field, second deck for his 23rd home run of the season, his second home run of the series. That put the Phillies up 7-1. It is currently 9-4 over in Miami, guys.
Okay, Kelsey, thank you very much. If that score holds and this one holds, the Phillies will shave a game off the Braves' lead in the East. But the Braves aren't done yet. They've got 6 outs left. They'll try to make some hay against the Red Sox bullpen, which will see its third member come out and pitch in the Atlanta 8th inning. Markakis, Camargo, and Wright's spot is due. And Nick's first one is fouled away. Strike 1.
Ryan Brazier, who also pitched here yesterday, got roughed up a little bit. 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits and a run.
Braves have been held to 3 hits tonight by Porcello, Stephen Wright, Joe Kelly. And that ball tossed out of play by Jansen Visconti. Drew Plant continues his great work at the gate by the Braves dugout. One ball, one strike. Ground ball up the middle. There we go. Hard hit ball by Markakis. Finds some green grass. And he's aboard to start inning number 8 for Atlanta.
That's what he was able to do his next to last at bat yesterday. Was finally find a hole and hit it hard.
Johan is 0 for 3 tonight.
The Braves can put together a big inning. They need one.
Well, the 8th has been the big inning for them on this homestand. Back-to-back 4-run innings against the Pirates in the 8th inning on September 1st and September 2nd. 4 in this 8th inning would get the game tied. Braves have scored 224 runs from the 7th inning or later this year. Or the Cubs have scored more.
Breaking ball, change up.
Those are 2 pretty good back-to-back pitches there.
Had him hacking away at both of them.
Broke his bat. Back to the mound. Bergier double clutches. The throw to first is in time. A double play. So that clears the bases for Atlanta. And it will be Lucas Duda batting for Kyle Wright. The Cover Your Bases campaign is a partnership between the Braves and the American Cancer Society that helps educate fans about the importance of sun safety. There are 10 sunscreen stations located throughout SunTrust Park, and they will help keep you covered. To locate them and make a donation, visit braves.com/coveryourbases. So a very impressive big league debut for Kyle Wright. 2 innings of 2 strikeouts, shutout ball. And it'll be Duda with the bases empty and 2 outs in the Atlanta 8th. And in for a strike. Those two guys have a chance to be cornerstones for the Braves for a long time.
They sure do.
Touki Toussaint, who was very impressive yesterday, and Wright, who pitched in relief this evening. Tomorrow it'll be Mike Foltynewicz for the Braves. Mike pitched great against the Red Sox. Hope he can be a stopper in Game 3 tomorrow afternoon. He went toe-to-toe with Chris Sale and beat him up in Boston. In fact, there were some we spoke to with the Red Sox who said that was as impressive a pitching performance as any pitcher the Boston offense has faced all year.
Well, let's hope he can do it again tomorrow.
You bet. The way things are looking right now, the Braves need him to show his stuff.
And a swing and a miss. A single, a double play, and a strikeout ends Atlanta's 8th, and we go to the 9th. Boston in command of Game 2. Moment, Jacob deGrom last night tied a big league record by allowing 3 or fewer runs in 25 straight starts in a single season. Something last done by a Cubs right-hander named King Cole, who turned the trick in 1910. Cole got run support. He went 20-4 with a 1.80 ERA. Jacob deGrom this year is 8-8 with a 1.68 ERA. And so the age-old question with Jacob deGrom, are those numbers impressive enough for him to win the Cy Young Award for the National League this year?
Well, he's definitely in the conversation. I would still say he's maybe a little bit short because those other two guys' numbers are right there with his, and they have some wins. But I think if he stretches that streak to, you know, what's he got, 3 or 4 starts left? You know, does it again, you know, for the next 3 or 4 starts, then I think he does.
Brad Brock's the pitcher facing Steve Pearce, who has 3 hits and 3 RBIs tonight. Well, I think it's going to be a fascinating vote because the new wave thinking disincentivizes the win, right?
Yeah.
So you look at the peripheral numbers for Jacob deGrom, and if wins and run support are basically out of his control, he's the poster child for a guy that ought to win the Cy Young Award. So my question is, how many of those voters will look past what Max Scherzer and others have done?
No, I don't disagree with any of that. But having said that, you've got 2 other guys that are right there with him in the ERA, and they're winning games. So, you know, if those other guys were 2 runs higher in their ERA, then I'd say, yeah, it's a no-brainer. But those other 2 guys, you look at all their numbers, the 3 of them together, they're all packed right there together. So I think that's what makes it a little bit harder argument.
Yeah, deGrom a 1.68 ERA, Aaron Nola 2.23, Max Scherzer 2.28. As that one is cut on and missed, and Pearce is retired on strikes, 1 out. Obviously the biggest difference between Nola, Scherzer, and deGrom. Nola and Scherzer pitching for teams that are a lot better than the Mets.
Brad Brock has faced the Red Sox a lot this year, having been with Baltimore and in the American League East. Before tonight, he was in 4 games and was 2 for 2 in saves against them. No earned runs in 4 2/3 innings. He should know them pretty well.
Eduardo Nunez is the Boston batter. He's 0 for 4, but does have an RBI. Red Sox lead 5-1. As this one's lifted into left, Acuna broke back, and Culberson back pedals and makes the play. Remember, Charlie checked in after Dansby was hit by a pitched ball tonight. No update on his condition as of now. Manage your dream team in franchise mode and get weekly stats, roster updates, and more. RBI Baseball 18's available now. Learn more at rbigame.com. Rated E for everyone.
Yesterday, 9 of the Red Sox 10 hits came in the innings in which they scored. 5th, 8th, and 9th. Tonight they have 7 hits, and 5 hits of their 7 have come in the 2 innings that they have scored. They've bunched them together. Got a lot of walks to help fill up the sacks, to help move guys around. There are not that many walks that have scored 2 of their 5. But the fact they've moved people into scoring position has been a big asset for them.
And those walks turn the lineup around and over and over and over again.
Sure do.
And Pierce was the main beneficiary tonight with 3 of the Red Sox 5 RBIs. Boston loaded the bases in 3 straight innings. The 4th, the 5th, the 6th. Newcomb got out of it in the 4th. Couldn't escape the 5th. And when you look at the line tonight, you'll see Boston leading 5-1. The number is 9. 9 walks. That's the tail of the tape for me, at least.
Yeah, you can't. You got to make that lineup create those opportunities. You can't give them those opportunities. Sooner or later, they're going to bite you. And like you said, the innings that they got walks, they got hits.
Pushed him off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bradley. Now 2-2. So chalk it up again as a learning experience for all these inexperienced Braves pitchers. And hopefully Foltynewicz will have good command tomorrow. Line to center. Ender's coming on. Dives. Can't get it. It's behind him. Bradley's on his way to second. Acuna backed it up. The throw to second a little late. And Bradley has a tippy toe on the bag and got time so he can take off his shin guard. And he has his first hit of the game.
Good backup by Acuna here, when one of the few times all year Ender couldn't come up with a miracle catch, just under his glove. Now, all 5 RBIs tonight for the Red Sox have come with the bases loaded.
Sandy Leon has hit with the bases loaded twice, and he's 0 for 2 in those spots. He's 0 for 4 overall with a couple of strikeouts. We had been told earlier today that the Red Sox will pitch Hector Velasquez tomorrow. Their press notes have had the starting pitcher as a TBA this entire series. And if it will be Velasquez, he's a veteran of the Mexican leagues for the Campeche Pirates. Went 3-1 for the Red Sox last year. No balls, 2 strikes. And in the dirt.
Something's right with the world, though, when the Braves have a catcher wearing number 12. Hope Eddie Perez is watching tonight.
Still the best looking guy in the ballpark. Eddie Perez, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And off Brock's glove. Ozzie handles a tough hop and throws to first. Wow, what a play. The pitcher deflected it. The ball hit off the lip of the grass, and Ozzie made the play to send us to the bottom of the 9th.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. And by SunTrust. Confidence starts here.
Let's talk about what a difference a year makes. Our Synovus Greatness Made Here feature.
Quite a turnaround, but as we talked earlier, Tom, the runs per game are about the same. It's that ERA, it's a little different.
Yeah, when you're giving up, you know, close to a run and a half less a game, that makes that 4.7, 4.6 runs a game stick a little bit more. So big improvement, no question, in the pitching side of things this year.
So Heath Hembree will come in and try to mop up the 9th inning for Boston. He's got the bottom part of the Braves order coming up. Albies, Culberson, and Rivera. By the way, the Eddie Perez precinct has been heard from. He agreed with our sentiments that he still is the best looking guy in the ballpark. It was 2 thumbs up on that. So Eddie, great to hear from you. Hope to see you soon. As Ozzie goes to work and rips one off the screen. Strike 1. Officially, Ozzie 0 for 2 with a walk. Fouled at the plate. It's 0-2. Mets have jumped in front of the Dodgers out west 2-0. Arizona scored 2 early against San Diego out west. It is scoreboard watching time in the big leagues. Phillies have won. They beat Miami 9-4. That one's gone final. Cardinals lead Washington 7-5 in the 9th. Milwaukee 6-1 over the Cubs. 7th inning at Miller Park. How about Cole Hamels stirring up the Brewers fans? Talking about the rivalry between the Cubs and Milwaukee.
No brats for him.
No brats. He insinuated that it's not necessarily a rivalry when most of the fans at Miller Park are Cubs fans.
Well, that seems to have sparked the Brewers. Yeah, that's that locker room billboard stuff that I just don't understand why guys say.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Ozzie, and strike 3 called. And Hembree retires his first man to start the bottom of the 9th.
Visit Synovus for your banking, lending, and investing needs. Synovus, the bank of here.
Charlie Culberson pressed into duty when Dansby was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning by Rick Porcello. And Charlie has struck out twice. This is his 3rd at bat. He's seeing his 3rd pitcher. Porcello got him. Wright got him. And now Hembree faces him with 1 out in the 9th. And a slow roller hit toward Nunez at 3rd. He's got it. 2 outs.
See how Nunez played that? Real smart. He knew Charlie wasn't going to be able to get out of the box real quick on that ball in on him. And rather than try to come in and make a barehanded play, he was able to pause, field it, and throw it. Veteran move.
So the Red Sox are 1 out away from going 13-3 against the National League in interleague play. That's another storyline that'll have to be followed. National League East plays the rough and tumble AL East. The National League Central plays the woeful AL Central. And when you think about wild card positioning, boy, it's a big advantage for the Cubs, the Brewers, St. Louis.
That's the only thing I don't like about the wild card. And it's not always the same division every year. It could be anybody.
Right. But this is one of the years where it's a glaring difference.
Yeah.
But those are the rules. You got to play by them and overcome the bad breaks. As Rivera bats for the 2nd time. 1 ball, 1 strike for Rene. And fouled away. It's 1-2. Hembree ready with his 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. And that's your ball game. The Boston Red Sox have won their 96th game of the season. Rick Porcello beat Sean Newcomb. The Braves walk 9 Boston hitters. And that was too much to overcome in the middle innings here tonight. 5-1 is your final. We'll recap it from SunTrust right after this.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. By Delta Airlines. And by Synovus, the bank of here.